And here's some facts. The Prime Minister secured $70 billion investment from the UAE into Canada. The German Navy has committed $1 billion for Canadian-made defense equipment. Finnish Nokia recently broke ground on a new $340 million facility in Ottawa. And a few weeks ago, Malaysia Petronas signed a 20-year deal to secure energy from Canada. This is what creating opportunities for workers looks like, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Something unusual is happening on the world stage, and almost nobody's talking about it. Over the past year, countries from Europe, Asia, and the Middle East and beyond have been rushing to sign new partnerships with Canada at a pace we've never seen before. Trade deals, energy agreements, critical minerals supply chains, massive investment pipelines. It's like the world suddenly woke up and said, we need Canada now. But why? What changed? Why are countries quietly shifting away from old alliances and turning toward Canada as their new safe economic partner? Today, we break down the data, the geopolitics, the global strategy behind Canada's surprising rise, and why this moment could define the next 20 years of Canada's role in the world.
We have what the world wants in Canada, and now we are leveraging our competitive advantages. I'm not sure if you've heard, but we have 10 large national projects, including wind, including LNG, including nuclear energy with the development of an SMR at the Darlington nuclear plant. Countries around the world are asking how they can invest in these projects, and we welcome the interest.
Let's start with some eye-popping facts. Prime Minister Carney has secured $70 billion investment from the UAE into Canada. Yes, $70 billion. That's the kind of capital that transforms industries, creates jobs, and sets the stage for long-term economic growth. But the momentum doesn't stop there. The German Navy has committed $1 billion for Canadian-made defense equipment, highlighting Canada's growing reputation as a reliable producer of high-tech, secure goods. Finnish tech giant Nokia recently broke ground on a $340 million facility in Ottawa, bringing high-skilled manufacturing and research jobs to the capital. And just a few weeks ago, Malaysia's Petronas signed a 20-year energy deal to secure critical resources from Canada. What do these numbers and agreements tell us? They show that Canada is no longer on the sidelines. It's becoming a central hub for global trade, innovation, and energy security. From defense to clean energy, tech manufacturing to investment capital, Canada is emerging as a reliable partner for countries that need stability, safety, and predictability in an increasingly uncertain world. The implications are huge. These deals don't just create wealth at the top, they generate opportunities for workers across provinces, stimulate local economies, and strengthen Canada's position in global supply chains. And this is only the beginning. With strategic planning, diplomatic engagement, and global demand, Canada is now a country that other nations are actively competing to work with. If you look at the scale and diversity of these deals, it's clear. Canada has stepped onto the world stage in a big way, and the ripple effects will be felt for decades.
So 1.7 billion for the world's most talented researchers, 1,000 of them, and targeted H-1B visa recruitment from the United States. Because we do have the best educated workforce, and we do have some of the world's best research universities. But when you are good, you know you have to get better, and that's what we're going to do with it.
There's a bigger story unfolding, and it's strategic. Canada's rise isn't just about numbers. It's about positioning itself as a geopolitical and economic anchor for the world. Europe, for instance, faces energy insecurity and supply chain risks. By partnering with Canada, European nations are diversifying sources for critical minerals and clean energy. Canada's lithium, cobalt, and nickel are now essential to the global electric vehicle market, powering not only cars, but an entire transition toward renewable energy. Meanwhile, Canada's tech sector is booming, from AI to 5G infrastructure. Canadian firms are being recognized as reliable and innovative. Countries across Asia see Canada as a stable partner for both investment and technology development, offering access to North American markets without the volatility of other regions. And it's not just economics. Canada is becoming a diplomatic bridge. By maintaining strong relationships with Europe, Asia, and the Middle East simultaneously, Canada is asserting itself as a neutral, stable, and dependable player in international negotiations. This strategic advantage also makes Canada a safe destination for foreign investment. Political stability, rule of law, and sustainable practices give investors confidence that their capital is secure. And for Canadians, this means more high-paying jobs, cutting-edge research opportunities, and long-term economic resilience. Canada is quietly building influence on the global stage, and the countries that realize it first are the ones lining up to secure partnerships.
This budget is generational. This will help define this country, the scale of investment to create hundreds of thousands of high-paying, high-skilled jobs for people who are listening to this program. If you're young and you want to go into the skilled trades, with our budget, we are going to create those jobs. But also to create a much stronger economy so that we can't be sideswiped by decisions south of the border, and that we are in control of our own destiny. And that is truly turning the corner. And that's not just turning the corner, if I can keep the metaphor, it's driving where we want to go. And that's what we're going to deliver.
The global interest in Canada signals something historic. This isn't a temporary trend. It's a structural shift in how the world sees Canada. Energy security, clean technology, defense manufacturing, and critical minerals are all converging in one country. That convergence gives Canada leverage in international negotiations and opens doors for more ambitious projects, from infrastructure to research collaborations. For Canadians, this has real consequences. Provinces rich in resources or tech hubs are attracting investments at unprecedented levels. Universities and innovation centers are now connected directly to global markets. Young professionals entering the workforce can expect opportunities that were unimaginable even a decade ago. On the geopolitical side, Canada is gaining influence simply by being a trusted partner. Countries are looking for alternatives to high-risk, polarized regions. By staying stable, reliable, predictable, Canada is becoming a pivot point for global decision-making, from energy exports to financial flows. Ultimately, this rise is not just about wealth or trade. It's about Canada's future as a central player in global stability and prosperity. The opportunities for workers, investors, and policymakers are enormous, and the world is only just beginning to recognize Canada's potential. Canada's moment has arrived, and how the country manages it will define its role on the global stage for decades to come.
Just a few months ago, Canada signed a new security and defense partnership with the European Union, and we launched our negotiations toward Canada's participation in what's called the Security Action for Europe Agreement, or SAFE, S-A-F-E. This is an instrument that's going to be used by the European Union to obviously rebuild and rearm and reconstitute the forces in a European Union context. Today, the Prime Minister has announced the conclusion of negotiations for Canada's participation in SAFE, unlocking billions of dollars of defense opportunities for our Canadian businesses. This is part and parcel of the Prime Minister's plan that he set out some months ago. This will allow Canada, for example, to participate by supplying capabilities such as ammunition, missiles, drones, artillery systems, infantry weapons, and beyond. So
Canada is no longer on the sidelines. It's a country the world is racing to partner with, from energy to tech, from critical minerals to massive investments. Nations are taking notice. This is more than opportunity, it's a statement. Stability, innovation, and vision win in a world of uncertainty. Canada is showing the world how leadership looks in action. The deals are happening, the stage is set, and the possibilities are endless. The world is watching, and Canada's moment isn't coming. It's right here.